So they know you as the blueprint down here, and I guess I want to talk a little bit about that nickname. I've seen it a lot on your Twitter feed. I've seen it in a lot of stories. It's going to be part of your South Florida legacy, and I guess it was an important part for you too.
Yes, sir. Well, I got this name from back in Pee Wee. All the older guys had, nicknames, and, it's something I wanted and something I believe I should have, and, I grind every day, every week for it, and, one day the announcer ended up calling me the blueprint as I'm doing what I do best on the field, playing football, and, it just stuck with me ever since then.
Yeah, and your family kind of has a blueprint for football success. You come from a football family.
Yes, sir. My brother Richard McIntosh, he played at University of Miami. He's now with the New York Giants. My brother Dion, he was at Notre Dame. He's now going to Washington State. My dad played football as well for Dillard High.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Dillard Five. We all know about Dillard High School and what they turned out now. And you played at university and had a great career, obviously. Looking back at some of your highlights, the way you're able to move, the way you run the ball, where does that style come from? I mean, was it from watching other players, or how would you explain to somebody how you do what you do?
I say, I believe watching other players like Ezekiel Elliott, Sonny Michel, Nick Chubb, even DeAndre Swift. Just picking their games apart, picking it little by piece, and just putting it out into mind. And, I believe that made me into who I am. Frank Gore, definitely, working with him and, just, picking his brain.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You've been on the map down here, and this is a very talented area. It produces more D1 players per square mile than anywhere in the country. But you've kind of been on the map since your 8th grade year when you got your first offers from Miami and Rutgers. Alabama offered in 9th grade. And, you weren't even a running back at first at the varsity level. You were playing varsity as an 8th grader. But they kind of discovered you on punt return and decided to put you in the backfield, right?
Yes, sir. A coach on our staff, Coach Johnson, he just noticed how special I was with the ball in my hands, and he believed in me. He gave me that toe in the door, and he told my head coach, and they believed in me, and ever since then, I made things happen with the ball in my hands. So.
Yeah, you did. You're probably thinking about time because you've always been a running back. But, you understand you got to play a role. And you did. You played your role. You split carries with the seniors, a freshman, and then you kind of took it over 10th, 11th, 12th grade. When you were going on these visits, and I'm just going through my mind, I know you went and looked at Ohio State, and I know you looked at Oklahoma and Auburn and Alabama, and, of course, Georgia. What would you say about the Georgia campus and the Georgia facilities as far as how did it compare to some of those other schools?
Well, all the universities have great campuses. I just think that, what stand out the most is the coaches and how they present themselves and how they, take the time out of their day and, evaluate you and, really see how you will fit in their program. And I think that's what Georgia did the best, and, and I really believed in, I can play under these guys, these coaches, and they're going to teach me, make me a better player. And I believe that, and that's why I committed to the G.
Yeah, you did. And you told me that Kirby Smart, you met with all these head coaches, but you told me that your family and you felt like maybe there was something different about Kirby, the way he came across compared to those other coaches. How would you explain that?
Just the way he carried himself, just the way he kept it real, just the way he explained things. He wasn't feeding me everything like, all these players out here want to hear. Are you going to carry the ball this amount of times and rush for this amount of time? He wasn't like that, he's just going to give you a role once you get there. And I hope the role I get, and I just play it as well as I can and, do as I can to help the team win.
Yeah, no doubt. And you do. You know about DeAndre Swift and Brian Herring and James. James Cook personally.
Yes,
and, of course, Amir White coming back from that injury. I think he hosted you. And you told me that even though there's a competition there and you've watched the practice, you also felt a family there. How does that work? Because you guys are competing. There's only one ball, and yet you're telling me when you're watching practice, these guys are like helping each other.
Yeah, man, the communication is key out there. Everyone is talking. Even if you're not on the field right now, you're still talking. You're learning. Even if you're not, part of the, practice right now, you're still on the sideline learning. Coach is talking to you, and I love it. I just loved it. It felt like family. Felt like I'd be a part of that.
Yeah, in the competition part of it as well, a lot of people think when you're a running back, all you want is the ball. But nowadays, it seems like you almost want to have other running backs back there. And in fact, I think when you did one of your unofficial visits to Georgia earlier, You were telling me you had a chance to talk to Sony about that. What was his take on it when you talked with him about that?
You know, his take was, you know, you're gonna compete a lot, and at the G definitely with all the great running backs that's there already. So you want to go in there and compete with those great running backs because it's gonna make you a great player. You know, on and off the field. You know, so you know that would really gave me a urge to commit to Georgia, and you know I really took that to heart, and I believe in that because down here in South Florida, that's all we do is compete, and you know you got to be ready for that because at the next level it just gets tougher.
Yeah, and it worked out for him obviously, and Sony was a guy that also played special teams, and it's interesting in some of our other discussions, you always bring up special teams, and I'm not used to hearing that from, you know, marquee players and stars, but apparently talking with Richard, your father, about this has been something you've always done on all your teams.
Yeah, my dad always preached that if you want to play early, you got to do special teams. You know, you got to earn that trust. So playing special teams, even if I'll just be a leader on the field, just do whatever I got to do to play my role right. So
right.
the team can win.
Right. And so here we are. We're ticking it down. There's 14 days left. You know, Kenny, you know, you're an interesting guy to talk to about football. But when I ask you what else you do, it's like you're waiting for the next football practice or the next workout. I mean, this is really a passion for you.
Yes, sir. It's all I look forward to. I got big goals and I'm trying to achieve them. So.
Do you know what you're going to major in yet at Georgia?
Maybe business or PR.
Yeah, PR. I could see Kenny behind a microphone. I think he does a pretty good job with it. He's gotten a lot of practice this weekend. Yes. I can assure you that. We've had a good time. We've had a good time with it, man. Kenny, thanks for everything. I've really enjoyed my visit down here to South Florida, and I'm really looking forward to covering you at Georgia.
Appreciate it.
All right, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Kenny McIntosh, everybody. You'll be hearing a lot more about him soon.